You popularize something everyone is doing. Yes, sir. Let me say it louder. For my chosen ones in the back. Listen, family, you popularize something everyone is doing. Say, I need somebody to drop in the comments and say, they copied me. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say, they copied me. See, family, maybe you have a certain quote that you use. Maybe there's a certain signature style you have, or there's some type of way you portray yourself in public, and people are starting to copy it. See, at first, you didn't really notice it, right? In the beginning, it didn't seem like they were biting off of you. But as time progressed, you started noticing. Hey, they wearing the same type of clothes I'm wearing. You started noticing. They're speaking just like me. You begin to pay attention. They're doing the exact things that I am doing. You remember when you had that idea and the person probably shut it down. They said it was stupid. They said that it didn't make sense. But that same person came around, matter of fact, talking the same type of talk that you was talking, and they stole the idea. Family, I need you to understand something. You are more influential than you may think. And you are more impactful than you may know. See, family, most people don't want you to know this, but I'm going to tell it to you anyway, because that's what we do over here, y'all. There's something different about you. They want you to think that you have that same program mentality that they were born with, right? That they grew into and also developed. They want you to think that there's nothing special about you. No, you're the different one out of the litter, okay? There's a reason why people copy you. There's a reason why people imitate you. There's a reason why people gravitate to your spirit, your soul. There's something extraordinarily gravitational about you, magnetic about you. And this is why you're able to popularize phrases. You're able to popularize clothing. You're able to popularize quotes. You're able to popularize anything you want to make popular. You are the trend. Somebody drop that down below in the comments. I'm the trend. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say, I am the trend. Now, we're going to go ahead and get directly into this video. But first thing is first, y'all make sure y'all leave a thumbs up on this video as well as subscribe to the channel. Yes, sir. Not only that, y'all be sure to ring my bell so you could be notified after every single video I post. And yes, y'all, we're right here in front of the legendary Gray Couch. Anytime I'm in front of the legendary Gray Couch, something legendary gonna be said, y'all, and that's just how that go. How y'all doing, fam? What you got going on? We're broadcasting live on the Reno Speaks Life channel. For me, y'all, not too much of anything. I just got back from the gym not too long ago. Tonight gonna be a pizza and wings night, y'all. Yeah, I'm splurging. You know, I love Pizza Hut on the weekends. Now, sometimes I do thin crust, but tonight, y'all, we going old school with it, original pan, all right? But with that being said, y'all, that's what's going on with me. Y'all drop in the comments. Let me know how y'all day been going and what y'all gonna eat tonight. If you're doing pizza, tacos, whatever it is, y'all, I'm all in your business. But let's get directly into it, fam. Number one. It's going to be this rare, fam. Silent imitation. This is how you know you have popularized something everyone is doing. Silent imitation. This is when people are copying you and emulating you, but they're not letting you know that they're doing it. They're doing it in silence. Y'all remember the mannequin challenge? Where everybody was just sitting around being still like the mannequin? They were going into stores, sitting still like the mannequin. Doing it at home, in the bathroom, anywhere you could see a mannequin or anywhere a person could sit still, people were doing the mannequin challenge, right? Well, nobody really knows where it was originated from. Everybody just followed what? The trends, right? They follow the trend. That's the same thing with yourself. When you start something, you just start seeing everybody in the workspace doing it, right? Like you start seeing everybody in the family doing it. When you start something, you just start seeing your peers doing it. But nobody really acknowledged where it came from. You follow what I'm saying? Nobody ever acknowledged who's the originator, okay? You know, we have people like Michael Jackson, who's the king of pop. You have people who's like Elvis, which is the king of rock. And the list goes on. But unless you're talking about true music heads, or if you're talking about true critics and analysts of music, most people do not acknowledge, the greats. Why? Because they take what the greats have done and they may resample it. That's why some people get sued. Yeah, that's why a lot of people get sued, because that's silent imitation. I like this song. I like this beat. I like what they did to it, but I want to take credit for the original work that was done. You follow what I'm saying, y'all? That's the same thing with yourself. That's all silent imitation. They don't want to give the GOAT their props or their credit. However, they want to do everything that the GOAT did to receive the same type of credit that you got. All right. Does that make sense, y'all? Drop in the comments and let me know, okay? Silent imitation. Number 2, it's going to be this right here, fam. Secondhand discovery. All right. Secondhand discovery. What's that, Reno? When you think about secondhand discovery, most people may think about just somebody, discovering something secondhand. Well, it's kind of the same, but when you look at it, it's a person really stealing your idea. All right. Y'all ever seen on a movie or TV shows? And matter of fact, y'all in particular, the movie Baby Daddy, y'all, with Eddie Griffin, Anthony Anderson, Method Man in there, right? About these guys who's basically unfit fathers because they're boys, but they're going from boys to men. You got Tiny Lester in there. Anyway, Tiny Lester is like this record label. I think they were trying to emulate Death Row, right? He was acting like he was Suge Knight or somebody of that caliber, and he had, got the white guys, the white boys to, sign to his label. And so they said, yeah, man, we kind of like the white outcasts. And then he was like, no, I think y'all gonna be like the white outcasts. You know what I'm saying? And they was like, oh yeah, that's what we was thinking. But that's kind of how secondhand discovery works. When you have an idea, the person or people may undermine it, downplay it, look over it. The list goes on, right? But then they'll come right back around utilizing that same idea. Why is that, Reno? That's because it's called secondhand discovery. Christopher Columbus, he real slick, y'all. He said that he discovered the Americas. How can you discover something that was already here? Secondhand discovery. This is when people take credit for something that was already taken credit for. This is when people say they found something that was already found. All right? And so with that being said, fam, this is another sign that you have popularized something everyone is doing. Does that make sense, y'all? Drop in the comments and let me know. Number 3 is going to be this right here, fam. They adopt your language. All right? They adopt your language. They start talking like you. They start pronunciating their words like you. They just start saying everything the way that you would say it. If you take a young boy, or even girls, because girls join gangs too, if they're about to join the blood gang, they're going to start talking like the Bloods. I'm sure they say everything with a B, right? You remove the C's and you replace it with a B. All right. If you are going to join the Crip gang, you remove the B's and then you replace it with the C's. OK, they are only emulating what this gang is telling them to do. All right. And that's the same thing with yourself. Although you're not a gang, they are adopting your language because they want to emulate you. Right. They love the responses that you get. They love the reaction that you get. They are adopting your language. And I know it sounds so childish. They talking like me. But family, when a person wants your life, they'll do anything and everything to emulate it. Does that make sense, y'all? Drop in the comments and let me know. All right. Number 4, they're teaching people what they learned from you. All right. They're teaching people what they learned from you. Now, fam, y'all know I respect the GOAT, the king of pop, MJ. Y'all know that's my favorite artist of all time. Outside of Tupac. And matter of fact, y'all, I'm sorry. Tupac is my favorite rapper, okay, of all time. Michael Jackson is my favorite artist of all time. Gotta respect the MJ. However, we're not gonna sit here and act like the moonwalk was not Michael Jackson's initially. He didn't just come up with this bright idea who said, you know what, I'm going to slide my feet backwards and then move, backwards and call it the moonwalk. No, Jeffrey Daniels taught Michael Jackson the moonwalk. Anybody knew that? Y'all drop in the comments and let me know. Jeffrey Daniels taught Michael Jackson the moonwalk, right? And he perfected it. He became the best at it. It became his. Matter of fact, I'm sure nobody haven't heard about Jeffrey Daniels' name, although he was a soul-trained dancer. We haven't heard about Jeffrey Daniels' name probably since this video. Why is that? Because Michael Jackson began teaching people what he learned from him, and he became the best at it. Now, I'm not saying that this is all bad, but in the case with yourself, y'all, and your enemies, of course it's bad. They are teaching people literally what you taught them. And now people are thinking that they're the ones who's the originator. People are thinking that they are the ones who created it. No, it was you. Somebody drop in the comments and say, I created this. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say, I created this. All right? They're teaching people what they learned from you. This is a clear indication that you popularize something everyone is doing. Number 5, y'all, is going to be this right here, y'all. They give you reluctant props, okay? They give you reluctant props. So this is when a person is giving you your credit where it's due, but they really don't want to. Like maybe there's a room full of people who have to give you your props, give you your credit. Maybe there's a room full of people who's clapping for you or acting as if they're happy for you, but they don't really want to do it. They just don't want to seem like the outcast. They don't want to really say, hey, you look nice today. Hey, you did great today. They don't really want to say that. They just don't want to look like the hater in the group. Yeah, y'all, it feels bad and looks bad when you are a hater, okay? And I would say more so it looks bad when you are a hater. The point is, y'all, is that they're giving you reluctant props, which means it's not genuine. When you think about the American dad, right? This is not me going on a tangent of how men are not appreciated, but we got to keep it real. The American dad, especially if you are a black one, they're not really appreciated. And I'm not saying that other races like white, Hispanic, or, other races are not appreciated, because it's all dads. But I'm telling you, the black one is at the bottom of the totem pole, right? When you look at the movies, think about Proud Family with Oscar. Oscar living off living off of Trudy. His mama beat him up. The doctor beat him up. The dog bite him. Nobody likes Oscar Proud. The only person who like him is his daughter, right? When you think about the guy who said, I'm married with kids, he looked like Peyton Manning. Y'all can help me out down below in the comments. But the show is called Married with Kids. It's the white guy with the big nose. He looked like Peyton Manning to me. Everybody hate him, right? Nobody likes him in the family. When I say you get the reluctant props like the American dad, it's almost like, hey, dad. And then the kids walk by. You want to tell your dad happy birthday. Happy birthday, dad. It's happy Father's Day. Here go a toolbox to go back to work, dad. That's the type of treatment you get, the reluctant props. Now, we all know everybody love mama. If there's a burning house, we know who gonna get saved, mama. She can be done just slapped you in the back of your head. Mama is about to get, saved. It is what it is. But the point is that the American dad treatment is very similar to yourself. You get the American dad treatment when it comes to getting your props. Like, oh yeah, he did create it. But look, y'all, how I did it. Yeah, he did do this right here. But hey, y'all, I made it happen this way. The reluctant props speaks volumes of how much people want to be like you, but they still never want to give you your credit where it's due, okay? But family, you popularize something everyone is doing. We'll do a recap and then we'll conclude this video. But number 1, y'all, silent imitation. Number 2, secondhand discovery. Number 3, they adopt your language. Number 4, they're teaching people what they learned from you. And number 5, y'all, they give you reluctant props, all right? With that being said, fam, y'all be sure to get you a Yes Sir t-shirt, Yes Sir hoodie, book a one-on-one session with your boy, and you can check out any one of my books. Keep a rich mentality. Peace.